Hey, what is up, guys, and welcome back to the Vegas Confessions Podcast YouTube channel. And today we got something very special that happened. So, not only have I been looking forward to chatting with a bunch of different YouTubers, bloggers, podcasters, you name it, when it comes to Las Vegas and picking their brains on how they like to Vegas and why, but I got a very special guest, and YouTube, say hi to Matthew. This gentleman has over 40,000 subscribers and has been one of the first Vegas vloggers that I discovered back in the day, besides The Trooper and Jacob's Life in Vegas. And so Jacob's Life in Vegas is actually not too far away from where I'm from too, so I'm looking forward to chatting with him in the future. But today's special guest was super nervous about doing the podcast. And right away, this gentleman went from nervous to, let's go ahead and just record this today. Let's do this, man. I'm ready to do this. So it was really cool. I had a great chat with the guy. So Matthew did give me a little background. He did say he was nervous about doing the podcast. He's never done one before. And he decided to do this podcast. Why? I don't know. But I'm very happy he did, because I've been looking forward to chatting with him for a while. And like I said, I discovered him in one of his videos that was titled something like, No Sleep 48 Hours in Las Vegas. My kind of guy right there. So again, I've been following this guy for a very long time. So I've been looking forward to chatting with this guy for a while. We covered a lot of different topics. We cover Vegas, we cover YouTubing, and we cover Matthew himself and how he likes to Vegas and why. So guys, do me a favor. If you're new around here, my name is Jay. I'm a podcaster now doing YouTube. So I'm looking forward to bringing more interviews like this to the table. So I do want to give Matthew a shout out, because I did tell him, I have all this equipment. I do want to start doing video podcast episodes. And his reply was, well, am I going to be the first video podcast? I was like, you know what, let's do it. And it came out okay. I did have a hiccup. I rushed into it when we decided to do it last minute. And let's just go, because again, he got hyped up and I got excited. I was like, hey, let's do it. So when I set up, I rushed up and I left my laptop camera connected instead of my 1080p HD camera. So rookie move. That's a little bit of the blurriness you'll see on my side. But as you can see from the beginning, from when we started testing to where the video is going to look like, there's a little bit of green in there. But again, I can fix that. I figured that out as soon as we were done recording. So go figure. So I've had all this equipment in place. So now being able to use it to its benefit and being able to bring in guests live changes everything for me. So again, this podcast for the last 5 years has been all audio. Everything's been audio. So now I'm starting to show you and take you guys with me around Las Vegas and show you some of the cool must-visit places and some of the must-see faces that are in the town. So before we get into this interview, I do have to give one special shout out to the Vegas On Air social media group on Instagram. I'm newer to Instagram, and they are very helpful with resharing posts that are all Vegas related when it comes to businesses, restaurants, you name it, anything Las Vegas. They're sharing everybody's stuff, so it helps me also network with other newer people. So I do got to mention, they're very helpful when it comes to promoting people, and they've been very good with sharing the podcast and YouTube channel, the videos, everything. So to the Vegas On Air group on Instagram, thank you guys so much. I'm glad I'm a part of the group, and thank you so much for all the support. It really means a lot. So definitely check out the Vegas On Air group on Instagram. They're very helpful with helping, grow your social media accounts and basically help promoting everybody that's in the Vegas realm. So again, very cool. Thank you, folks. You guys are awesome. So again, guys, I do want to mention, if you guys enjoy any part of this interview, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, because I do vlogs, I run around town, I meet people, and I come up with some interesting events that come up in Las Vegas, and I show you guys all of these things. So again, if you're in a good times, having fun in Vegas, definitely consider subscribing. Let's jump into the interview. Cue that intro. Let's go, baby.
Hey there, everyone. This is Nat Bridger, and you are listening to the Vegas Confessions podcast.
Didn't we go to my favorite dive bar before that? We went to Double Down.
Double Down Saloon. Yeah, we had some ash juice.
I am all about asking. Yeah, baby.
You guys need to go check that room. There's like a dead guy in the bed. And the lady at the counter says, well, we'll call housekeeping. Like, housekeeping?
Jay's never met an asshole he didn't like. Shout out to the guy at third base at the blackjack table I was at last, who was obviously trying to keep a high-low count, but was mouthing the numbers as the cards were being turned over.
Be careful what you say, because we can have you whacked.
Okay, I'm Nicky Firmich, and you're listening to the Vegas Confessions podcast.
Well, welcome back, guys, to another episode of Vegas Confessions. And this one's exciting because if you are watching here on our YouTube channel, we are live with my special guest who I've been excited to line up for a while, man. You have no idea. I've been watching and following you for a while. And just your story, the way that I found you, immediately hooked. And I told you earlier a little bit of the specific video that got me turned on to you. I was like, oh, this is my guy right here. So, guys, I present to you YouTube. Say hi to Matthew. Matthew, how are you, brother?
I'm doing great. Thanks so much for having me on this podcast. I must say this is my first official podcast to be on, so thank you so much.
Dude, I'm excited because not only do I follow, but let me tell the listeners how I caught on to you. So I've been watching vloggers since the beginning, people who love Vegas, different gamblers, you name it, right? Matt Bridger, everybody. So after following certain videos, you came up in a recommended page, and I'm like, what is this? And the title of the video was Vegas 24 Hours of No Sleep, or something to that effect.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
What to do in Vegas for 24 hours or something like that? Or something, I don't know exactly what it was.
It was some specific of no sleep for 48 hours. I was like, oh, this is my guy right here. Ever since then, dude, hooked like a fish. So, dude, I'm excited to talk to you. I have plenty of questions for you, and I know I cracked up earlier because you were telling your chat the other night about, you've never been on a podcast and you were nervous about doing them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, really? And so when we were chatting earlier, we chatted for like half hour, and you're like, hey, dude, you ready to just do this today?
Yeah.
And I'm like, you went from nervous to like, let's go in a matter of a day.
Why not, right?
Yeah, hell yeah.
I'll get right into it. So
let's jump into it, man. I wanted to ask you, when and why did you start going to Las Vegas?
So the first time I went to Las Vegas was for my 21st birthday. We figured, like, let's go to Vegas. It's, you're turning 21, do something fun, go to Vegas.
Right.
And ever since then, I've been hooked. But I think the reason why I got hooked to Las Vegas is because the very first thing we did when we went to Las Vegas for my birthday was put $1,000 on roulette. So I think maybe if I lost it, I wouldn't be so addicted to Las Vegas. But how it worked out perfect. And that has to be my most memorable moment in Las Vegas ever. It will be with me and my two friends. We all put $1,000 on red. And we went to we stayed in Caesar's Palace because of the hangover. Obviously, you got to do what they do, right?
Oh, yeah.
But actually, the first thing that we dropped off our luggage, and then we went over to MGM Grand. Because I was doing research, where's the best place to play roulette?
Yeah.
And they have the European wheel there at the mansion, is the high roller room at MGM.
Okay.
And if it hits green, you get half your money back. So I was like, okay, let's do it here. It's the best odds, I guess, for roulette, single zero. And we walked over there. The first thing we did, and we hit it. And ever since that moment, it was like, we love Vegas.
Hook. That's all it takes. The same thing. So we had our buddy Alex on, who we just talked to last week, and Alex we'll get to in a second because I have him in the notes. But he said sort of the same thing. Went to Vegas, won a jackpot, was hooked ever since. So that's what it does. That's right. So when did you start vlogging, and how did you even think about getting that going?
So my brother and my cousin started with YouTube around 2008 when it started getting more popular. Still nothing crazy. Like back then when you had like 50,000 subscribers, that was like huge. That was like over 1 million compared to today. So it was big, right?
Yeah.
And so they started with that, and I was always behind the scenes. I would just help them film it. I never really wanted to be on camera. And then when I started traveling more, my friends would always ask about the trip and stuff like that. And I figured, why not like film it and show them instead of just talking about it? Like I would film clips and stuff like that, and I'll put it together in like a little video, slideshows with pictures and stuff like that. Nothing too crazy. I would show my family the videos, and I used to make like DVDs with like I'd get a postcard and put it as like a DVD cover, and I'd be like, this is my Vegas trip, 2010, 2011, and I'd just keep showing them that. And then eventually I started putting them up onto YouTube, and people started watching it. They started like, people want to see what to do, where to go, like tips and tricks, and just follow me along what I would do. Right. So then I started getting more serious about it, started going more and uploading more. Yeah. And it started to just take off just from that. And it's like, I'm just a regular guy doing Vegas things. Like I like to go to Vegas and show people like what's new and exciting, different food places. Everything I like to do is what I put in the videos. And then it started becoming more like like before it was just me filming my trip, but now it's like what I kind of like figure out what do people want to see. If I'm watching a video, I try to make it like I want to know, like if I was searching it too. So that became like my strategy for YouTube, and then try to upload consistently more and more. The trick with YouTube is you have to keep on uploading, right?
Right.
So at the beginning of my trips, I would just film like the daily vlogs, like day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4. But it wouldn't be enough videos. So then I started breaking down the videos into like different food videos. So everything I eat in the video became a separate video. Then I would do like a walking tour and just like expand. So now I go on a trip for 3 or 4 days and I can get like 10 to 15 videos out of it. And that definitely helped me grow my channel.
And you said something key earlier when we talked. We were talking about, how everybody's trips differ and stuff, but we go to Vegas so often that it's not a vacation no more. We go with the purpose of work in mind, and that's the mindset. Is we got stuff lined up and stuff like that. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, I gotta like schedule it out and make sure you film like new and popular things to get it out for the videos. But the funny thing is, it's like it's not a vacation. It's kind of like work, but at the same time, it's not work because we get to go to Vegas and do these things. Because without my channel, and shout out to the Map Pack, without them and their support, I wouldn't be able to go as much as I do. So I'm truly thankful and blessed for all the support I get on my videos, because I wouldn't be going. I would still be going maybe once a year, but to go every other month at my at the high point of it was amazing.
Now, what kind of tips would you give newer content creators that are trying to get into, YouTube, blogging? Because vlogging across the board, it can come from any kind of niche, not just Vegas, right?
Yep, there's literally anything. I always tell people, just start a YouTube channel. Whatever you like doing, whatever you're interested in, you're passionate about, make videos. You're gonna find people that like the same things you like. So the key is to have fun. Number one, have fun with it and enjoy what you're doing. If the people say, I'm just gonna start a YouTube channel just because I want to be rich off it, it's not gonna work out. You're gonna get burnt out and you're gonna forget about it. I've been doing this for so long, and I still love it. I still get so excited once I hit that live button on going live on YouTube, or the video goes public. I get that same feeling I did years ago. It's like, what are people gonna say? What's the feedback on this video? But my tips would be, have fun, be consistent, and definitely interact with your audience and build the community. That is the key right there. There's no one thing, no trick to YouTube. Of course, a good thumbnail and title, that goes a long way too.
Yeah, right.
If you can start getting people to watch and you got to be informative, you got to be fun and informative, you got to provide something for the viewers. They're not gonna come back just to watch you like do nothing. Like you gotta be exciting. You gotta provide something that they want to come back for, so they hit that subscribe button, right? And the main thing is just be yourself too. Because if you fake it, people are gonna find out that you're faking it, and then it's just gonna be a disaster. So just have fun with it and keep going. Like I said, find something you love and go for it.
100%. Can't agree more, man. I'm learning. That's why I thought this was great to have you on, because I started within the last year, and literally the beginning of this year, I went at it pretty strong. So I'm trying to get videos out at least once a week now. There's a lot I'm learning too. And YouTube, like you told me earlier, YouTube's been a grind to learn, but YouTube's also very helpful, going in and learning everything yourself. The podcasting stuff too, I learned through YouTube.
Yeah, anything you need to learn, it's on YouTube. I learned myself like how to edit and stuff like that through tutorials. I use Final Cut Pro, and I've started from the basics, how to cut, how to paste, how to like audio stuff, like everything I just learned, and I'm still learning. I'm always trying to change it and learn more things, because you got to keep up with it. You can't stick with the same thing. YouTube is always changing, and the algorithm is changing, so you're always learning. And it's great to like connect with people to help you out too, if they're willing to help you out. I know some people don't, like they want to do their own thing. They don't want to deal with people, but if someone asks me a question, I'm always down to help them. It's that's the best thing. It is a community of people, and people, they want, you're not gonna just start YouTube, and you're not gonna become like a 1 million subscriber channel overnight. It takes time to learn. A couple of viral videos, you might get that, but it's just it's a process. It definitely is.
Right, 100%. So let me ask you this: with as much as you visit Vegas, If you could only stay at one hotel the rest of your trips for the rest of your life, which hotel are you picking and why?
I think I'm going the Cosmopolitan.
I figured. I knew it. Yeah.
That balcony, there's nothing like it. In the morning, you go out, start your day, and you see that view. Everything is just so calm from up there.
Yeah.
And then coming back to the room at the night, ending the night at the balcony, that view is just amazing. There's just no place like it that offers that, in my opinion. It has everything. Really, any resort in Vegas, you can go in and just stay there. You don't have to go anywhere. They have everything you need, right?
Mm-hmm.
But that's the best thing about Vegas too. It has so many resorts for people to pick from. There's something for everyone. So all on one trip. It's amazing.
And that was a big part of reaching out to you because, like myself, I like to explore. It's not just downtown, not just the Strip. I like to get around and go check out different spots.
Yeah.
And I see you doing that. So I'm like, hey, this guy's perfect to chat with.
Yep, that's definitely me. I like to go all over the place, and I pick my favorites, and I like to go back to. But every trip, I always try to do new things because I like experiencing different things and learning stuff. There's still stuff I find out about. I'm like, oh, I didn't know that was there. Let me go check it out.
Exactly right. And like you said earlier, about being relevant and getting the new stuff out that everybody wants to see. That's a big part of it too.
For sure.
So what kind of tips would you give a first timer visiting Vegas?
First timer, don't wear brand new shoes. Wear shoes that are comfortable.
Smart.
No, number one tip, plan out your trip. Know what you want to see because you're not going to be able to get everything done like on your first trip. Because usually people go for the first time maybe a couple days, and you definitely need more than that. I always tell people there's different kinds of trips you got to do. Like there's the party trip, there's the touristy trip, then there's the off the strip trip. Like there's so many things you can do. So you got to really plan out and know where you're going to be. Like just walking from one resort to the next might take just like a half an hour just to get there. So you got to schedule your day. And then I know there's people that like to go and just go with the flow, which is fine. But then that goes into what trip are you doing? Is it just a whatever trip, or do you want to do all the touristy things, right?
Right. So favorite steakhouse in Las Vegas?
I get this one. I get asked this all the time. So they're all good, okay? I haven't been to a bad one. If you're going to a mega resort, you're gonna find a good steakhouse.
Right.
Me personally, I think Oscar's is my favorite. They always treat me so well, and everyone knows Bobby. He's famous now, and the food is amazing. My go-to things there now is the rib cap and the cookie. The dessert, the cookie dessert, those are my two must at Oscars. And you got the view of Fremont Street, and it's just amazing. You got the old school vibe in there. I think that's my number one steakhouse. But there's other ones like Golden Steer is really good, the oldest steakhouse in Vegas. The list goes on and on. My goal is to try every single place. I want to try everyone, then make like an official list of the ranking.
Good luck.
To do that. But you were telling me earlier about the story with Bobby. You got to let everyone know about that.
So I was in there one night. I was in there with a group of friends, and I'm a Plaza person. Plaza's my home, so I'm always there. Shout out to the Plaza. I love it there. But Oscars wasn't a big thing for us. We weren't always checking out Oscars. Now we always have food comps, but we like to gamble, and especially when I've talked about on the show, when my wife's with me, it's a different trip. We're not going anywhere. We're not doing anything. We're having fun. Like that's just what we're doing, and we know that going into it, so it's cool. But a couple trips ago, I ran into Bobby during the pandemic. It was slow, so I walked in, said hi to, Jonathan was in there. I made sure I went and said hi, and I saw Bobby walking by, and I was like, hey Bobby, I just want to say hi, man. I saw you on Matthew's video, and he's like, did you now? I was like, what's cool is I really appreciate how, you guys work with everybody and anybody. You're just everyday people. And I think that's what the really cool part about you guys down here. And it's everywhere, especially on this property. And he's like, I'm just another dude. And I think it's cool that you guys come in who see these videos and know me. And I'm like, it's the nuttiest thing. And when you guys are super appreciative and welcoming and super that gesture, right? That friendliness every time you walk up to them. You remember that. And so I told him, like, dude, it's a pleasure to meet you, man. You're down. Let me take care of you. Sit down. I'm like, no, we're running out. I just wanted to say hi. He's like, come on, let me take care of you. I'm like, Bobby, I appreciate you. We're on the go still. My wife's downstairs. I got to go. I just wanted to say hi. I saw you as I came to see Jonathan. And he's like, man, I appreciate you. I appreciate Matthew. Everybody out there, like, I love all the good feedback. Just a genuine person.
Yeah, he's a great guy, and we connected right when I made that video for Oscars the first time. We made that connection. I knew he was such a genuine guy, and I knew after that video he started getting popular in the videos, and people started sending me pictures with him, and like then every time I saw him, he's like, man, you're making me famous now, and he's just overall a great guy, and that's the customer service that the Oscars provides there, and that's what brings people back. That's the number one thing. And so if you guys go to Oscars, definitely say hi to Bobby. He's a great
And what
person.
was neat, and if you guys haven't been following Matthew, which I know most of you guys are, I mean, seriously, one of his last videos, he took Bobby a present down over and just, wanted to thank him. And that's the gesture, right? Like I do the same thing with our host, we'll go get them some gift cards and stuff after a trip and just thank them for, the hospitality and just when they're appreciative, you're like, you want to do it again every single time you go back. So that's really cool of you, man.
It was just a little thank you for him treating my viewers so well. Like I don't know if you heard the story in the vlog where one of my viewers saw him at a restaurant and he's like, you're Matthew, you're Bobby from Matthew's video. And they started talking, and then Bobby ended up buying the guy's meal. Like he didn't have to do that. And that's just what shows you how awesome he is. So it was just a little thank you, nothing too crazy, but he was very thankful, and he loves meeting everyone that comes to say hi to him.
And again, by the way, this was not Oscars, correct?
What? No, it wasn't at Oscars. No,
right,
It was at another, I forgot where he said it was, but it was not at Oscars.
Right.
Yeah.
So let me ask you, what's your favorite pizza in Las Vegas?
Pizza Rock. Pizza Rock is definitely, I think that's most people's answers that tried most of the pizza. What I usually do is get like the New York slice and a Detroit style slice. Those are my two go. I actually prefer them at the slice house where you get the slice to go than actually sitting down. So that's like my go-to. But there are so many good pizza places in Vegas. But I think that's my number one. What's your number one?
My number one right now, some people are going to be mad when I say this. And it's not. It used to be, Pizza Rock. It used to be Pop-Up. I discovered something, and that's going to be my next question for you. I discovered a hidden gem downtown. Now, I was taken there a few months ago. This place is called the Vegas Test Kitchen.
Okay.
This place, I think I've mentioned in one of your chats, is they have 7 different chefs working in this kitchen. It's a ghost kitchen. And they're all doing their specialty. Well, one guy does a pizza, and he's got like a sourdough dough that's got like 100-year-old 100-year-old spice to it that he's been using in his pizzas and stuff. And he's just been doing this a long time. Phenomenal, dude. When I talk about fall apart crust, just soft, good, delicious. Yeah, dude. Next time you're in town, we're going. That's a definite
try that.
must.
So it's on the list now.
Yeah, dude. It's really, really good. It's really good. What would you say are some unhidden gems in Las Vegas that people should know about? Restaurants, stuff like that we were just talking about.
Places that people have to try?
Yes, that maybe they should know about that. Maybe that is not that popular.
Okay. I would say number one would be Ellis Island. They got
nice.
I think people that go to Vegas a lot know about it, but for people that are new, they have no idea that it's there, or they don't usually go there. But for food, they have some of the best deals in Vegas. One of my favorites is the barbecue place where you can get I usually get the half rack of ribs, half a chicken. You got the coleslaw, the beans for like $13.99, and then if you play $5 in the slots, it brings it down to like $9.99. You can't find that anywhere. Like that's a good one. Another place is Donut Bar. If you haven't been to Donut Bar, I feel like a lot of people don't know about it. Like mainly from my videos, they find out about it. But if you don't know about the Donut Bar, downtown, just off of Fremont Street on 6th and Carson, some of the best donuts ever. I don't think I've ever had any better donuts. My favorite is the Big Papa Tart. And shout out to those guys, Jeff and Joe. They are incredible. We have a great friendship. It's not just a business relationship. It's we definitely like hanging out with each other, and we go way back, even before the Donut Bar. So definitely have to check that out. And if you mention me there, you get 10% off. So a little bonus for everybody.
And I had them a part of the questions here, so that was perfect because I knew that was coming. Yeah. So I want to talk about them specifically. So about 2-3 years ago, I had went down there because I was, meeting up with different vloggers and stuff and trying to do, meet up with people. Well, I was actually buying a hat from the trooper at the time. And I'm like, hey, dude, I was like, I'd love to meet you downtown. I'll be staying there. He's like, well, let's meet at the donut bar. And I had just seen one of your videos. I'm like, let's go. So we go down there. We end up spending like 3 hours there, dude, hanging out, chatting. The guys there were like, hey, you guys need anything? It was over the top. I had went back the following day, which was my birthday. And then I was heading home afterwards. These guys filled me up a box of donuts to fly back home with for the family for my birthday. And just, here you go, Jay. Thank you for coming. I mean, I tried to do as much as I did, social media wise. Hey, guys, make sure you guys get down here. But you're right. There's little spots that people should be checking out like this one. Great coffee, great atmosphere, and even better staff.
Oh yeah, the customer service there is the best, and those guys always once you mention me, they're like their face lights up all the time, and I think everyone knows how they treat you just like perfect. Like they treat everyone perfect, but it's just that extra like knowing somebody there, like, oh hey, it's Jeff, I saw you in the video. Actually, Jeff, the other day he sent me a text message. He's saying an Uber driver recognized him in my video from my videos, and he's like, oh, let me get a picture with you. And then Jeff was telling me how funny that was. It's hilarious. It's amazing. Things like that are so cool.
Awesome. So what does your ideal trip look like? If you didn't have to go out there and there's no videos taken, what do you want to do?
For the main part, what you see in the videos, that's pretty much my trip. It's everything I do is what I would normally do even without the camera. I like to do a little bit of everything. Like you said, I'm all over the place. I'm not just there to gamble. I'm not a gambler though, but like I like to go for the food, a little bit of gambling here and there, go by the pool, walk the strip. I'm happy even if I go and I'm just walking the strip. Like I could just be in Vegas and I'm happy. Like it doesn't even take much. I just love the energy and the vibe that Vegas brings. Everyone is going to this one strip for like a vacation. Everyone is there to have some fun. Of course, when you lose your money, it's not as fun. But besides that, like everyone is just there to have a good time. And I love that. And there's something for everyone, right? You can just have a pool trip. You can just gamble, food. Just it's amazing. Just one simple street and everything is there. But that's what I do. Like food, gamble, walking the strip, hanging out with friends. And my trips have changed over the years now because now like I have like meetups and I have group slot pulls. Like this is things I would never imagine like years ago. And like I'm walking the strip, people are like, hey Matthew, I love your videos. Let me take a picture with you. I'm like, that's amazing to me. It's unreal. And it's so cool that's it brings a different element to my trip now. It's like you never know when someone is gonna be like, hey, what's up? And then you have a conversation with them and you get to know their story, and I love it.
Yeah, and it's even weirder when they know all about you, right? Like that's the thing I get with the podcast. And what's weirder is it's always audio. The podcast for the first 5 years usually audio. Up until today, this is like one of the first recorded interviews I'm doing on YouTube. So I appreciate you doing this. Yeah. I know it. I can see some of the green in the recording. Whatever. It's the first time we're getting through this. But
you'll get better.
Hey, dude, I'm excited to do this. But I wanted to ask, what's been one of your most memorable trips, and what did that look like for you?
Has to be the first trip. That's the first one is the one that always sticks out. Like we stayed for like 6 nights and we just crammed in as much as we could. But how it's changed from then to now, I'll talk about that a little bit because the first trip it was like we wanted to save money as much as we could, right? So it was the 3 of us. We actually. Okay, I'm from Toronto, so we flew from Buffalo. But to get to Buffalo, we took the subway to the bus, and then the bus to Buffalo, then Buffalo on a layover, and then a layover we were to Vegas. And the flight was like with the hotel, it was like around $250. It was like nothing. This was 2010. But if you asked me to do that again, I would never do that. That's ridiculous. But we were excited, right? We were so excited and it all worked out. But now I'm getting picked up by limos to go to Vegas and stuff like that. It changed so much over the years. It's just incredible, the journey, like from the beginning through YouTube. The opportunities YouTube has brought me is incredible. And I'm super thankful for everything I have from my channel. Like, I never thought I would be drinking $10 Fiji water out of the Cosmopolitan back in 2010. You know what I'm saying? Like things have changed, and it's amazing. Like people running into you, and all these events I run now. It's amazing.
So before COVID, you said you were attending Vegas at least 6 times a year. So is there still stuff that's on your bucket list to still do, to try, that you haven't been able to do?
Yeah, there's always, I always try to save something for the next trip. And now plus with not being there so long, there's more things opening too. So
Right.
like area 15 I gotta check out. That's one thing on my list that's brand new. I haven't made it out to the Virgin Casino yet there. So like little things like that. There's always something to add to it. And of course the endless list of food. There's always a new
Yeah. Oh,
restaurant
yeah.
to try. So I'm a foodie, so I'll never run out of stuff like that. Tourist attractions, I would like to do stuff more off the strip too. I
Okay.
find for me, the videos on the strip do a lot better,
Right.
but I do like to mix it up to try different things. Like recently, a couple years ago, I went to Red Rock. Like I would before, like when I first started going to Vegas, I'll be like, I'll just stay on the strip. I don't need to go there. But then I started to expand and explore more, and like Red Rock Canyon, I hiked it, did a little hike there and stuff like that. And it's definitely worth it to check off the strip too, because a lot of people don't know. People, when you go for the first time, you think it's just a strip. We were talking about this earlier, and we were saying like people don't even know about Fremont Street, and
That's it.
Fremont Street is such an amazing place. It's a whole other vibe from the strip. So I always tell people if you're going on the first trip, definitely make an attempt to go Fremont at least for one night to experience it. Because people just, the first time it's like strip, let's just do this, go to the club, party.
Right.
But there's just so much more.
So with as much as you go to Vegas and with the recordings and stuff, have you ever had any issues with recording in casinos? I get asked that one all the time.
Oh yeah, there's been times that they're just like, but the funny thing is sometimes people will, like a security guard will say, put the camera away, and sure,
Yeah.
okay, no problem, I put it away. But then I go back next time, and then other ones are like encouraging it. They're like, oh, here, like film me, like stuff like that. So it's like you don't really know, like what's the strict rules. Everyone, they all have different rules, but you got to respect, like they don't want filming
Right.
at the tables and stuff
Mhm.
like that. And some of them are okay with the slot machines. The best is to ask permission if you can get permission
Yeah.
to film in it. But for the most part, if you're just walking by and you're filming a little clip, usually they're not gonna say anything, right?
Right.
It's more strictly if you're just like having the camera pointed right at like the craps table or something, right?
Right.
You gotta respect their rules. Totally get it. I actually, when my local casino here, I used to film videos there a lot, and like I used to
Okay.
go every Friday. There was a new show. We get tickets for a show. I go to the
Nice.
food and record it, and then one day I got a call from like I don't know. He was like the head marketing manager or whatever, and he's like we love your videos. I appreciate how positive you are about our property, but we can't have you uploading these videos because it's in Ontario. It's very strict filming, no filming in casinos.
Right.
So I had to remove a lot of videos at that
Yeah.
time, and I was so bummed. I was like, oh my gosh, that was horrible because that was like my main thing. Like I started going to Vegas, but I wasn't going to Vegas as much. So I was like, how can I fill that in between? So I was filming
Right.
this, and then I had to remove all the videos. And it's funny now, whenever I go, they'll call, they'll be like, okay, Matthew's here, watch him. it's like damn
And-
it.
And so it's funny because two things. One is we go to Atlantic City for, group meetups and stuff and friends, and they're very strict on recording. They're the same way. Hey, the state doesn't allow it. No pictures, no nothing. We'd have group events and that we'd, have a rough time just getting a group photo taken at an area that's not in the casino. But and you mentioned, the casino staff or security being welcoming. This last trip I went, I was in Cosmo. It's funny we start talking about this. I was in Cosmo just doing a little walkthrough video. I just wanted to get, what it's looked like and everything going on. And so I'm walking through the casino, and as I'm getting towards the end and walking back out to the front door, the security guard stops me and he asks me, well, did you get the chandelier bar? Yeah. And I'm like, yeah, oh yeah, of course not. Hey, please don't be recording. Like, make sure you got the chandelier bar. I'm like, what the hell? Yeah. So that's a
funny.
perfect example of you just saying what you said.
But that's good. And I think more casinos should start opening up to social media. It's great promotion for them. Once they start shutting it down, it's going to be, people are going to start doing more negative reviews on them and stuff like that, because we're the community of Vegas that's filming it, all the vloggers.
Right.
It's free promotion for them. So like if they're going to shut it down, we don't want to go back there because we got to film stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny because sometimes one time, I'm not gonna say the place, but I was filming a video at a food place at this resort, and then the security came up to me and they're like you can't be filming here, and it wasn't even near the casino. Like I'm like why? And it's because I had this new camera. It's a big professional camera, I guess. Once you put a tripod and a microphone, I guess it becomes professional. But I'm not a professional. So anyway, so the guy's like, "Do you have permission?" And I did have permission to film, actually.
Yeah.
So I was like scrolling through my emails to find it, and like he was very like persistent on it. He's like, "Oh, let me see where exactly it says filming at this place." And I was like, "Wow."
Yeah.
And then he actually ended up calling the marketing there, said, "Do you know Matthew?" And then we got the clear and all. But it's crazy how a place like that, they're so strict on. Other places or other security guards is totally different. It's just like, what are the actual rules? Nobody really knows.
That's it. Yeah, that's it. It's all depending and varies on property. I'm learning for sure. So now you mentioned a little bit of, casinos working with social media people, vloggers, YouTubers, and all of that. Can you talk a little bit about what it's been like and some of the connections you've made networking, doing the vlogs and stuff you've made and been fortunate enough to make along the way?
Oh yeah, for sure. I would say the number one that's most open to YouTubers is the Plaza. Most YouTubers know. Jonathan and his team there are all incredible people. They're all very friendly. Lisa, shout out to all of them. They're always like, anything you need, come back and do this, do that, which is awesome. The Cosmopolitan recently, they started. I have starting to talk with them and stuff like that. So they've been amazing too. Shout out to the Cosmopolitan. But even like the connections with the YouTubers, like collaborations and stuff like that, that's always amazing to see. And I think the viewers really enjoy that, seeing their two favorites come together and then making something, right? And then, of course, there's going to be people that don't like it. They want to just see their favorite person. But that's everything, positive and negative with everything. But networking with different creators and the casinos is awesome. That's the future. That's what it's big. Like, it's huge. These videos are bringing people in to their casinos, so they should definitely reach out more to creators that do it.
Since we're talking about networking a little bit, can we talk a little bit about Alex Park? Now, I saw him in your videos and stuff, and the gentleman, I had him on just recently because, we've been in talks for months and doing this interview, and he was still working with Presidential, so he didn't know what could be said, what could not be said. And when he recently decided, to go on his own and start his own company, I'm like, dude, come on, let's do this. And so I was like, you know what? Finding out his backstory, being that we're from the same hometown, same age, same everything, I'm like, holy crap, dude, we need to talk. So can you talk a little bit about, what the benefits he's made for you and some of the interactions you've had with Alex going forward?
Yeah, for sure. So congrats to him on making the choice to go on his own and do his thing. He's been talking about it with me for a while and stuff like that. And I told him, like, yeah, for sure, I'll help you out. I'll do whatever I can, like promote you and stuff. He's a really nice guy. Right. And yeah, when we first talked, like, he started posting in my Facebook group, and he's like, I'll hook you up with the limo ride. I'm like, that's easy enough. I'm down for that, right? I like that. Always cool for the video. And we built a relationship of that. And so if people that don't know, I have a Facebook group. It's called We Love Las Vegas. And he started. He's like the limo guy now. So people will post, they know who he is and stuff like that. So he always tells me how thankful he is that I let him post in it, and all the people. Like, I put him in the video my last trip, and his phone has been off the hook from people wanting to get the ride from him. But he's like backed up now, and he's very happy. And I know he wants to expand even more to a bigger company if he can. So I wish him the best. I love that. Trying to go for your goal and live your dream. So definitely any way I can help him, I try to.
And I thought it was super neat that, he told me the same thing. He was like, Jay, I got bookings into 2 years, and I'm so excited, just to do the show. And, but I got to be cautious on, the people I welcome in, because I'm already booked into next year. I don't want to put too much on my plate. And then you put him in the video. I have him on the podcast. And he told me the same thing, man. People are reaching out. I got people reaching out to me like, Jay, what's this guy's contact info? I'm like, hey, if he's available, he'll slide you in. Just know that, okay? So it's really cool that you did that. I thought that was really neat.
That's a perfect case of, like, the power of social media, like, putting yourself out there and like the influence the YouTubers have on a place that they go, then recommend is huge. Like if someone goes
Right.
and says they don't like this place, then usually they'll say, okay, it's off my list now. But if you highly recommend a place, you'll see like next week someone's posting a picture there, like, oh, thank you for showing me this. And it's really cool that they trust creators to test out these places for them. But
Yeah.
I always say I'm just a regular guy. I go to
Yeah.
a place, my opinion might be totally different than someone else's opinion. So I always recommend trying it yourself. Even if I don't like something, you might like it too. So my videos are just there to show you what I'm getting, show you the vibe of the place, the menu, the prices, so you get a feel for the place. Not necessarily if the food is good or bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. And I thought that was cool because I told Alex, I was like, you know what, dude, I don't think you realize how big of a part of people's trip you are sometimes. And he's like, oh no, dude, I've learned right away. Like I am the first thing they see to the last thing. I'm like, that's awesome. And you make that extra effort to make it that much more special for them. And it's neat. I mean, daily posts of people on Facebook. Alex took care of us. Alex picked us up. Really, really cool. So I'm glad we got to mention him.
Yep.
Any advice you would give folks getting ready to head back to Las Vegas since they haven't been the last trip? What to expect differently? New?
Yeah. So there's going to be lineups. Definitely expect more lineups. Hour changes of the hours of the restaurants are going to be a lot different. So definitely make reservations and plan ahead. Know where you want to eat. Like late night. I'm a big fan of late night snacks and food in Vegas after, you know.
Oh, yes.
So the hour, like things are not, there's not a lot of options now. And if you want to go to your favorite place, like when I was there, I went to Earl of Sandwich. That's like my go-to late night. It's open 24 hours. But I was there at like 1 a.m. No, it was probably like 2 a.m. or so. And the lineup was like 45 minutes long. And I was like, okay, I'm not waiting in this line over here for that. But that's just one thing where it's like there's not too many things open. So you have to be prepared and be patient. And that's the main thing I would say right now. And if people are worried about what's going on, just keep your distance from people and you can still have fun. It's still Vegas. It's definitely not the same 100%, but you still can go. You can still have fun, and just be aware like what you're doing. You know, don't go in a huge crowd of people. Maybe avoid like the nightclubs or something. But that's a whole other topic. We don't have to get into that kind of stuff.
So here's something off topic. What would be the worst experience you've ever had in Las Vegas?
The worst. That's a tough question. I don't know.
No bad rooms, no bad meals, service, nothing like that?
I never really had a bad room. Okay. Service-wise, everything's pretty good. Nothing sticks on top of my head. I could talk about bad food, but I don't know if I want to bash some places right now. There's the videos are out for that already. But
yeah. And I'll refer to that in just a little bit. I got that one coming. So what would you say are must-dos when visiting Las Vegas? Whether it's a restaurant, casino, a show, the Vegas sign, stuff like that you think people should take time out of their trip to visit?
Specific things like that, I would say you have to at least gamble a little bit when you go to Vegas. That's the experience. You got to go to a fancy restaurant like a Steakhouse. You got to go to those off-strip places that you would never expect. That would be like Ellis Island. Like you go there, that's a place where you gotta check out. You gotta do a little. For me, I say do a little bit of everything. Like go to the pool, go walk the strip, go in every casino. There's watch the Bellagio fountains. That's like a #1 Vegas thing you have to do. A lot of free little things you can do in Vegas. I would say just in general, it's a little bit of everything to experience it. There's not one specific thing where I'll say this will make your trip. It's everything that you do that makes the trip, right?
Yeah, 100%. And that's why I asked, because everybody's different. I can't tell you how many different topics on Facebook of people asking questions. Hey, first timer, what do you recommend? I love those. I'll throw in videos. I'll throw in places, names, you name it. I love it. So yeah, that's why I thought I'd ask for sure. So before your last trip, Circa and resorts weren't even open. So which one stood out to you more since you visited both?
Well, I like both. I do like both. I think right now Resorts World, they weren't really ready to open in my opinion. There's still a lot of work that needs to be done. It is further down on the strip, so that like takes away from. For me, I like to be more in the middle, like right in the
Yes.
action of everything.
Mm-hmm.
I do want to stay there. Eventually, I will.
Yeah.
It's their buffet has to go. It's not a real buffet, but I see what they're going with. I think people wanted like more of like a themed casino. I think
Yeah.
it was too. People are saying it's a shopping mall in a casino kind of thing, right? But
Okay.
overall, I think it's cool. I like the layout. I like the vibe of the place. The only thing is, it's wasn't fully ready, and it's further down the strip. That's the only two negatives that I have of it right now.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to explore more food options. The positive side of Resorts World that I saw is the Starlight Lounge. I don't know if you've got
Yeah.
a chance to go up there.
I haven't been up there. I'm planning on it.
It's a really cool place. They even have a casino up there. You can even go outside and have a drink outside with the view of the strip. I want to go back there at night. It's incredible. It's very nice up there. The rooms look good in there. I haven't stayed there. Like I said, I want to check them out. A lot of pools. If you're a fan of the
Yeah.
pools, there's a lot of options there. And then Circa. I love Circa. Circa was amazing. It's definitely a strip resort that's downtown.
Yeah.
But I like it. I like the vibe it brings downtown. I mean, they didn't really have to get rid of mermaids. I missed those Oreos there, but but overall, it's great. Vegas Vicky, she's amazing there. I'm so happy they brought her back and put her there. She fits perfect.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing they're missing, I think, is a few more restaurants, a few more options, I would say.
Yeah.
Like there's enough, definitely enough. They got a little bit of everything. They didn't want to overpower it, I think, with different
Yeah.
restaurants, but I think it could use a couple more options. Barry's was amazing. I got a chance to go to the Steakhouse. Very good place. Downtown has amazing steakhouses. Like
Yeah,
every
100%.
steakhouse downtown I've been to have been like up there on the list. So yeah, overall, yeah, both cool, very cool. I like when there's new things in Vegas, and Resorts World and Circa were great for the videos to check out. Brought something new for me to check out, and the stadium swim is unbelievable, very cool. Their sports book there is one of the best place to watch
Yeah.
a show. Derek Stevens, he's a smart guy. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
much respect to him. He's a very cool guy too. He likes to hang out by the bar there and stuff. So yeah, awesome place.
Yeah, 100%. And I asked because me and my wife, we went to the openings of both, and we stood at resorts, and the rooms were about $500 opening night, and we had one of the basic Hilton rooms. Wasn't too great. So now seeing the rooms are like $70, I'm like, son of a bitch. But that's what you pay. You pay for that first day
that's the opening.
experience. You were 100% on the pools. There was, I think we counted a total of 8 of them. And, just as we left, they had opened up the new bar up top. So that was like, oh man, all right, now we got to get back. So there's a reason to get back for sure. As far as Circa goes, Circa, my wife told me multiple times, she's like, I still like Circa better. I'm like, really? She's like, yeah, I like Circa. It's got our vibe. It's a good feel. I'm like, listen, when we went to the opening, that's all we couldn't stop saying is how much of a strip resort this is downtown, and it doesn't feel out of place.
I like that they brought it. Like it's cool. It's cool to see something new downtown, right?
Yeah, 100%. So, have you ever ran into any celebrities in Vegas?
Yeah, so in 2011 we went to the premiere of Hangover 2. It was at Planet Hollywood.
Okay.
And me and my friends were kind of sneaking around, and we found the lounge of where all these celebrities were, like that were gonna be there. So we got to Holly Madison was there. Doug, Doug's on the roof. He was there. So Carrot Top, and I can't remember exactly all of them, but we ended up talking to a bunch of them and just talking about like just having conversation. Nothing, I can't remember specific conversations, but that was And then gambling, I saw a bunch of NBA players. I usually go around when it's like summer league, so a lot of NBA players I see around there. But what about you? Who's the most that sticks out for you?
I've ran into a few. I've got to meet Chris Angel. I've got to run into Dana White it was actually at the Virgin opening. Him and a security guard with a big full of money were running down the casino floor heading to the high limit. And of course I had to say, hey Dana, how you doing? Mind if we take a picture? And he was like, hell no, let's do it. And so it was super cool of him.
He's cool.
Yeah, very down to earth. And I watch a lot of the Nelk boys on YouTube, so I see him on their stuff. So I told him, I was like, dude, I love what you guys are doing. I think it's cool that you're working with people like that. He's like, what's your name? I'm like, I'm Jay, dude. I do a podcast about Vegas and gambling. He's like, nice. I'm like, yeah. So he was really cool to run into. Again, just you never know what's gonna happen around the corner. This last one I went to, it was called the world's largest casino chip and collectors event. And it was casino memorabilia, you name it. And one of the gentlemen's, Mark Hall Patton, the historian from Pawn Stars, was there. The guy with the big beard. Yeah, he was there. So I got to talk to him, have a cool conversation with him. So yeah, you just never know what's gonna happen when you're in Vegas. So yeah, I was like, you know what? I thought I'd ask him if he's ran into any celebrities.
That's cool.
Any idea when your next trip is? And I only asked because we got a huge group event coming up in December, and it's at the Plaza, and it's something right around, your realms with travel industry and the casino comps and, how to benefit from both. So, I thought I'd ask for sure if you got any trips lined up in the near time future.
I'm taking it month to month right now. I'm not sure exactly. I think I'm hoping for end of October. That's like my general idea right now. But yeah, if December is still far away, so it's possible too.
Okay.
We'll see. We'll see how it goes. But very possible December is. I usually do go in December, so depending on the dates, I would love to come check it out. But we'll see. Who knows, really?
Okay. We'll definitely talk after this, and I'm looking forward to it. And always, dude, we love going to Vegas on Halloween. Halloween is so much fun downtown on Fremont Street. The best.
Are you planning to go Halloween this year?
We are. So do you want to let people know, the Facebook group you've mentioned one time, let people know about the YouTube channel, how they can find you on social media, basically get in touch with you and follow you?
Yeah, everything is say hi to Matthew. Pretty simple. The only thing different is the group We Love Las Vegas, but you can find me on Facebook, say hi to Matthew, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. Say hi to Matthew. Pretty simple.
And I do want to mention how awesome that group is. I am in the group and I try to post as much as possible. But like I said, the questions that come in, the people from all over and just the networking between different people, answering different people's questions, that's really, really neat and convenient. So again, big kudos to you and the group you got going for sure.
Thank you.
So again, brother, man, I want to thank you big time for doing this, spending some time. Look, we've already done an hour easy. And again, you were like, let's just do this. And it just pumped me up. I was even like, let's just do it tomorrow. I'm like, let's just do it. Let's get it done. Why not?
Now, so let's get it done.
That's hell yeah. So again, I will have this up in a couple of days. I'm going to do a few editings, a few different versions. But again, dude, I want to thank you for the time. And again, the next time you're in town, I'd love to treat you to lunch anywhere except Resorts World buffet thing they had going on.
All good. All good.
Brother, man.
If you guys are new, make sure to subscribe to the video on YouTube right now. Hit that subscribe on his channel.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate you, man. I look forward to getting to Vegas and hopefully lining some dates up with you because I got some things I got in mind for you, like maybe jumping off the stratosphere. That's one of my things that's been on my bucket list for years. My wife won't do it. I don't have any friends that are crazy enough to do it. And I think I've thrown it your way one time and you tried to convince Norma to do it.
I've done it once. I've actually did it once.
Oh, you did do it? Okay.
I've done it. Yeah. I was terrified before. And then after you do it, you feel so good. You're like, okay, I accomplished something. It's actually not that bad. It's not even a free fall. It slows you down after like 2 seconds. So it's not bad.
Okay.
Not bad.
All right. Well, again, brother, thank you for the time, dude. I look forward to getting this done. I will be in touch with you over the next couple of days. I mean, brother, until the next time, my friend, keep up the great work on the channel. I look forward to joining the live stream tonight because I know you'll be going live. And again, guys, for all you folks, definitely check out this guy's channel, man. He's got so much beneficial stuff. He's going to Vegas as much as possible. And if you guys can't tell, just a down-to-earth guy. And that's what we like having on the podcast. And like I told you, Matthew, I love talking to people before we even record because, that's the icebreaker. And
for sure.
When I chat with somebody 30 minutes before we even start recording anything, I know it's going to be fun. So again, brother, I appreciate the good times, the laughs and everything, man. I'll catch up with you next time. Cheers, brother.
Thank you so much. We're going to have to do a part 2 sometime.
Hell yeah, I'm down, man. As soon as I can get this green out of in between my ears. Let's do this.
All good, all good. Thank you so much. We'll see you next time.
Heck yes. Be well, brother. Guys, like I said, how cool is that? Just a genuine person, super down to earth. And I think I'm going to have to start excluding Ellis Island from the questions now, because Ellis Island seems to come up every interview. And if you haven't caught on by now, I'm telling you guys, it's worth a visit. So again, Matthew, thanks for coming on, brother. I appreciate you. Guys, I do have to give a shout out to all of our Patreon members and supporters of the podcast here. Thank you, folks. And if you folks want to get your name or contribute to the podcast and support us, we would love to throw you guys in there too. Definitely check out our Patreon. Again, I got to give a huge shout out and thank you to Matthew. Again, as a small YouTuber coming up, just starting in the game, it means a lot, man. And again, I know you guys have been doing this for a while, so learning the craft, the tricks, the trade, everything to YouTube, it's been fun. But this is the reward for me. Doing all this stuff, being able to sit down and chat with people like Matthew and the YouTubers and people to come, that's what I look forward to. Guys, I appreciate you watching. Seriously, thank you so much. Matt, the Matt Pack, everybody watching, everybody new, thank you for watching. I appreciate you. Let me know in the comments if you guys learned something new about Matthew, or if there was any other questions that you guys want me to follow up with, because I'm looking forward to having him on a second time. And he did say, get this video over 100 likes, and he's coming back on. And I think that's pretty easy to do. His people are going to take care of that easy. I look forward to doing more of these video podcasts. And again, we got huge events coming up in December at Plaza in Las Vegas for Zork Fest. More info to come. And until the next one, guys, cheers.